Kaiju number 8, Chapter 3 titled, Monsters Must Be Banished from This World. Chapter 3 kicks off with a sketch of Kaiju Kafka displayed on the TV at Monster Sweeper HQ. Reno notes 3 months have passed since Kafka became a Kaiju, and he's the first monster the Defense Force has failed to subjugate since its inception. A nearby member of the team says 2 letters were delivered earlier, and asks Reno to pass one along to Kafka. Reno opens his, expressing shock when he sees that they've passed the first exam for joining the Defense Force. Leaving to find Kafka, Reno finds him sitting atop a small dead kaiju, taking a lunch break. He shouts up to Kafka with the good news, who looks at him with surprise. However, to Reno's horror, he sees that Kafka's face has slipped back into kaiju mode, so he reprimands Kafka with a dropkick for exposing himself in broad daylight. Judging by this scene, it looks like Kafka still has little to no control over changing. It'll be interesting to see how he develops control. 10 days pass and the two arrive at the Nishitokyo testing site for the second stage of the selection exam. Reno expresses awe over the sheer size of the base, saying it's far bigger than the Kumagaya base he visited during a school trip. Kafka tells him that the base shares a building with the Self-Defense Force, and in times of emergency the two can coordinate all across Nishitokyo. An unknown voice calls out to Kafka from behind, calling him Old Man. After ignoring the voice for a moment, he finally turns around, confronted by a well-dressed girl with blonde hair and her much older driver. Kafka asks if she was talking to him, and she replies by calling him a simpleton for saying something obvious. She then tells him to move his scrap heap of a van so the driver can park her car. Kafka refutes this by pointing out the entire parking lot is full of empty spaces, but the girl insists that she park in that particular spot, due to her lucky number being the same as the designated spot. As soon as Kafka starts to argue, she suddenly rips off her jacket, unveiling the Defense Force uniform underneath. With inhuman strength, the girl effortlessly lifts the van into the air with one arm. That is pretty damn crazy. In shock, Reno asks who she is, but Kafka is upset about the company car being totaled. She states that she is examinee number 2016, KIKORU Shinomaya. Pretty obvious. Reno recognizes the name in some way. I'm curious to see what kind of part she'll play in the future. Anyhow, the chapter comes to a close with KIKORU analyzing Kafka, noting he reeks of kaiju. Unclear if she means he has a unique scent, or if he just smells like kaiju as a monster sweeper. Either way, I can see him playing it off as being part of the cleanup crew. We'll find out in Chapter 4. Thanks for watching and let me know what you think of this chapter in the comments below.